Yes, guys, welcome back to Kings of the fucking Bridge. We are back with a bang countdown to the big game tonight against Napoli. I've actually got a little sequence to go through that will give us an idea of whether if we win, lose, or draw tonight, what sort of route we can possibly be going down for the next periods as well. Whether we qualify or whether it's through playoffs, we'll be talking about that very, very shortly. There's some big news in and around transfers and Raheem the Dream Sterling has finally left our football club. We're going to be talking about that very, very, very shortly. But I've put a comment here for you guys that says smash the likes firstly if you're happy for Sterling, if you're happy that Sterling has now left. So I need 30 people in here to smash the likes now, and we should be on 30. Unless you want him here. And if you did want him here, I want you to leave a comment in the chat. But I am with my co-host Matt as always on this one. Matt, how are we today? How is things? How are you feeling? Big game tonight as well.
No, it's gonna be good. I mean, look, more happy now that Sterling's gone. I mean, you talk about Raheem the Dream, Sterling, whatever his name was gone. It was a nightmare. It was just a nightmare from start to finish, and you could see the potential of the reasons why we brought him in. But once he was here, he just knew he was going to try and run his contract down. He wasn't ever going to go. So I'm so happy that he's gone now. But yeah, huge game tonight. I just read a stat that I think Napoli haven't lost at home for over a year now, but I think that's going to change tonight because I just think their lineup and their injuries, and I think how we are playing currently in the moment, I think we should win.
We should win, and obviously they've got 11 injuries tonight, and they're missing some key players. However, it looks like Romelu Lukaku or Rasmus Højlund might be the ones leading the line tonight, which is going to be very interesting to see. Over 40 people in the building. Keep smashing the likes. Read the comment right. I'm leaving it here. I'm leaving it here so that we get the likes up. If you're walking in and you're not hitting the likes, that means you're a Raheem Sterling lover, man. The guy that went to Arsenal and said you're going to see the best version of me has now left the football club. Yeah, he's now left. And yes, he had quite an extortionate amount of money left on his contract. I believe it was around 22, 23, 24 mil left that Chelsea would have to have paid up to, I believe, 2028. We're going to talk a little bit into detail about that now. That's where we're going to start. And then obviously, remember, team lineups are going to be coming out in about an hour's time from now as well. So make sure you're with us. Make sure you're staying with us. Get your food, get your drinks, get your snacks. This is the place to be. We're here. We're consistent. And we're here to give you, also to give you an update as well. Next week, we have got a brand new update on the intro and an update on the countdown. And it's going to, honestly, if you thought this was good, what we've done here, what you're about to see next week is going to be the best on YouTube. Honestly, I don't think there's a better creator that's going to have a better intro and countdown than what we're planning over here, which is to continue improving this beautiful community, this family that we have here, this channel, and to continue moving forward and trying to grow it and get it to where it deserves to be. And that's what we're doing, isn't it, Matt?
And I couldn't say it any more better than you did there, mate. Yeah, it's going to be really good. I've seen some previews of it. It's going to look class. So really looking forward to it.
Help me, do I or do I not? What's he talking about? What are you talking about, Toby? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I'm happy, but when I see Neto, Neto, oh, BBC, how you good to see you. Wally says it's about time. Yes, Patrick, what we saying? Daniel, I see you. Yellow, Flash, what you saying? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chelsea, welcome. Cole Palmer is always here. He's in the building as well. CE, what you saying? Dribble. Everyone else that's in here right now that hasn't said hello, come and say hello, man. I want to see you. Wave, because we're about to bring up the Raheem the Dream Sterling news, which is the talking point. Obviously, it was actually broken by Chelsea directly, but we'll go over to Ormstein's. We'll go over to Mr. Ormstein's comments here.
If you guys I just saw your comment underneath.
Did ya?
Yeah.
Finally, just go. So breaking is that Raheem Sterling leaves Chelsea with immediate effect. Mutual agreement to part ways. Settlement secures CFC's financial savings and enables the 31-year-old to take the next step on a free transfer, guys. The Englishman departs after 3.5 years into his 5-year contract, which means he's overseen, Matt, most of his contracts. He could have ran it to the end. Let's be serious. He could have just sat back and gone, listen, I'm not going nowhere. I'm sitting right here. And, let me get rid of this. Why does he keep popping up? Go away, Olstein. Oh, there we go. I'm going to run it to the end. I'm earning 325k a week. I don't need to go and play football right now. But he didn't. He's cut it off. And I do think there's a financial implication that has benefited us, but we're going to talk about them things in a minute. But how did you feel when you obviously heard this news?
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, look, I was never really a fan of him joining, anyways. But I think what you've just said is fair. Look, he could have just run it to the the final part of his contract and just sat there. But I don't think really for his own sake and from like an image point of view as well. I think clubs wouldn't have liked that either if he went elsewhere and did that. And he's got 2.5 years left, and he's going to be what then? So 33 at that point. This is your kind of priority time now to try and get another move in. So I'm saying fair play to him. Like, he was sitting there having a nice little training session at Cobham every bloody day and getting paid ridiculous amount of money. So have I got sympathy for him? Not much, but I'm just trying to be a bit more level here and say, look, fair play that you've decided to negotiate and mutually leave. But I couldn't care. I thought when he came, he didn't do a tremendous amount for us. So not bothered.
You could probably argue, is he better than the current ones we have at the moment? Would there be an opportunity for him to come off and play on the left-hand side? You look at Garnacho, you look at Gittins, if he did stay on, which I didn't think he would ever be able to get back in the team. Once he got put in in the prison, shall we say, it felt like he was always going to either let his contract run out or they come to an agreement like they have now where he walks away and he's now potentially a free agent. So, my thing with him is this. We overpaid for him in the first place. We put him on a stupid wage because he was one of the first players that, if you remember, under the Bowley and Clearlake Kerrer they brought in at the time. They deemed it as experience, a player that was meant to take us, was meant to help a bunch of young, talented players by adding him and with his experience to come in and be that experienced player. Now, yes, he scored some good goals. I always remember the Newcastle game for free kick. Do you remember? Top bins, Raheem Sterling.
Yeah.
He scored a fair share of goals. Don't get me wrong.
Good goal against Dortmund as well. That was very important. Which was
of course. But he definitely has also had howlers, and I always go back to the one-on-ones where I think it was Wolves away where he could have laid it across to Palmer or Jackson. I think it was
both of them.
And he didn't do it. And it was just them little moments there. And it kind of, since that sort of squashed his opportunity of getting any international opportunities, squashed his chances of getting into this Chelsea team, especially with the players that we were spending to bring in on the wing, even though they're not massively better. And we now find ourselves in a position where he went to Arsenal. He said you're going to see the best version of him over there. We saw what we thought we was going to see anyway, which was pretty much nothing. No offense, Raheem the Dream, and then he comes back to Chelsea and he's with the bomb squad, the players that just basically we don't care about anymore, And we're now at a position where I feel that it's probably benefited us as a club to allow him to go because to pay 24 million over this next year and a half or just under a year and a half in salary, if we can find ways around it, which we have done. Then the clear answer to me on this one is that we've obviously agreed to either do, I think the main thing, which is split what's left of his contract and paid half of it. So if we've paid 10, 11, 12 million up front, we've saved ourselves having to allow him to run down the contract, have his wages on the book, which are over 325k a week. Do you know what I mean? So effectively, when you look at it in the long term, by letting him go, by paying him up front, maybe half of what's left of his contract, you probably save, number one, you saved half of the contract that you don't have to pay him, but he's also saved the 300 plus K, which was hauling and sitting on this wage structure, which we know has been a real big problem, Matt, right? For this club for a long time now. It's hindered our wage structure in many ways, don't get me wrong. And this is probably now really relieved the wage book a lot because it's gone from 325k to now a guy that's been paid off maybe for 11, 12 mil, maybe more, which is what I think's probably happened. I don't think he's just walked away and gone, don't worry, just rip up my contract. I'll go and play somewhere else. There's obviously got to be a financial benefit for not only us, but also for him. In terms of us, it's a benefit because we've not had to pay the full length of his contract and we don't have to pay stupid amounts of wages for no reason every week, So,
do you think with that implication, like you said, with the wage bill, do you think that now gives us flexibility to either buy some more higher players? So, a good example is like an Osimhen or something like that. Do you think if that Raheem Sterling or if Osimhen was about now, we could have then upped our wages for him? Or do you think that now we might be able to up the wages for maybe a Cole Palmer, an Enzo? Do you think that can happen? Or do you think they've just gone, right now, the salary is lower and that's it?
there's so many ways they can go with this, but the one way that we are seeing right now, getting to the end of this January window, is that we're doing nothing again other than getting rid of players that we need to get rid of. Maybe that's because they're preparing for the summer and they want to have a bit more, steerway in terms of what they're going to do. Because if you get rid of Raheem Sterling, which they have done, they find a way to get rid of Disassi. If they can continue getting rid of what's left of the bomb squad, it leaves us in a good position potentially to go and do more business while we still have this UEFA restriction, which is hindering the amount we can actually buy because we have to balance the books. So taking a big 325k off the wage structure obviously helps from balancing the books from a wage side of things, but from a fee, from sort of the fee side of things, and from what I understand from the PSR side of things, we're actually all right. We're generally all right. So as Pies dropped a bomber, someone said. So let's go and have a look. Let's go and have a look at what Piss is talking about. Pissy boy. Pissy boy. He says here, Chelsea are all... Oh, what happened? What happened to my screen? Can anyone see it? Yeah. Chelsea are all in for Jeremy Jacquet. Rennes don't want to sell him now, only setting up a deal for the summer. Do you think this is, again, I don't really think this has any adverse effect, this Jeremy Jacquet news that's just come out, guys. This is something new because Fabrizio Romano has just announced this, and I know he's obviously probably bought something out, like a video, or he's got something going on at the moment. But the fact that he's saying Chelsea are going all in, yes, I'm not taking it as full confidence because we've seen it so many times in the past with Chelsea for Jeremy Jacquet. Rennes don't want to sell him. I don't think this has any adverse effect, Matt, on the Raheem Sterling saga. This is just saying completely different, isn't it? Really.
Well, I think we've all known really with the Jacquet news, anyways, that it's that we are looking to get a pre-agreement deal. Let's be honest. I don't think now we're not going to get him in January. I think really, if I was expecting any centre backs now, it would be that we would get a pre-agreement for Jacquet. I think that's all it is. From what I'm hearing from other people, if they say Jacquet's good, okay, fair enough. But if it's a pre-agreement deal, we've got to then surely. Is it just recalling Anselmino then? Is this the only?
No, this is the next comment after this, because obviously we've got Dribbles put a comment here saying, meeting on Friday to decide whether Anselmino stays with the first team or finds a different solution. It'll be a busy last few days. Now, the only way I could see Jeremy Jacquet joining Chelsea now and getting Rennes on side is if we can find some sort of agreement with Anselmino going the other way. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about the potentials of him going that way, even if it's on a permanent. It could be one of the options that force a deal now. But I do look at this deal with Jeremy Jacquet, and I only really see it being a summer option, which means, again, it has nothing to do with the Raheem Sterling thing, because even though you've removed the wages, it's got nothing to do with fees because, we've not sold him for anything. We've just literally paid him out to get his contract ripped up. So effectively, we're in a position right now where we could do one of many things. We could either get a pre-agreement in place or get him signed as Chelsea, get him over to Chelsea, do all of the announcements like we did with Gusto. Remember Malo Gusto, and then send him back over to Rennes to the end of to the beginning of the summer, end of this season, and then he joins Chelsea in the summer, which is one of the options. Or Chelsea use a player for player to try and maneuver Jeremy Jacquet to come now, which means that Rennes will then look at it and go, okay, fair enough. We're not going to be left without anyone because they're not going to want to lose one of their most important players right now, which is another thing. So I get it. Why would you want to sell your premium players in January, especially one that's very important to them? So they're going to need something back, right, to be able to get the deal done. So is it a case of that we're having this meeting tomorrow to see whether he give him two options, either whether it's to stay at Chelsea or maybe go out to his next place, i.e. Rennes, which is going to help the Jeremy Jacquet deal. People saying Disassi as well. Carly, how are you? Good to see you. Ads is with us as well. Big up Ads. We'll bring him in a second as well to catch up on all of this. But I mean, go on, Matt.
Yeah, I think it's difficult, right? Because I think if you're Anselmino, I'm not saying that's that's what and that's it. I mean, if I was Anselmino, I'd be like, hang on, I was at a really good position in Dortmund. Now you're going to try and use me as a pawn to get me to go to Rennes. I think from a personal point of view, I think you would just say no. In my opinion, unless you want more game time.
Well, supposedly he wants Chelsea. He's made it very clear out of all the options. We have been told from certain media that his priority is to join Chelsea Football Club. Again, how true it is, I don't know. But I do find it very unusual that they've called back Anselmino. The only reason I thought they did that was because we'd given up on Jeremy Jacquet for now, and we were just bringing someone in to give us another addition, whilst Tosin, as we know, is out injured for a period of time as well, so it's bringing in someone for that. But maybe it's more than that. Maybe there's a business position to be done here where Anselmino's being told, look, sorry, we've pulled you back from Dortmund because we need you to go here, and the club, I don't know who it is, maybe Rennes, are interested in you. It's going to help us on our deal.
Yeah.
Maybe that's another negotiation,
I mean, I'll hear obviously what Ads is going to say in a second on it, but I mean, my opinion is that would it surprise me how they treat players that they would do that? Probably not.
No,
they don't treat
really.
them like players. They just treat them like assets to help them win other players. So would it surprise me? No. But Ads, how are you, mate? You're right.
Yeah, big up Ads as always. He's in the building as well. Over 80 people in the building right now, guys. We're not even 20 minutes in. Let's get these likes up. We should be on 80. Like I said, if you don't like Raheem Sterling and you're happy that he's left our club, I want to see every single person in here hit the like button right now. And let's bring in my boy Ads. What you saying, Ads? How are you?
Yeah, big up, my bro. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Obviously, good to be on the show. Yeah, big up yourself, Jem, as always, bro. Big up yourself, Matt. And obviously, in terms of my take on this topic, for once, really, I haven't really got much to say, to be honest. My biggest takeaway is actually what Matt just said to close his point, which is, this is how our board operates. Because, logically, if you're going to bring in Anselmino, he would be coming in to help us out, given that we also have a lack of quality and also options right now at centre back. But potentially being used as a pawn for the Jacket deal, which is interesting because, again, like one of you mentioned earlier, he's having a really good season at Dortmund. He's playing a lot of minutes. So for his development, it's best that he stays there or stays somewhere where he's going to play a lot of minutes. We're going to bring him in here to be a pawn to then go to France. It's like, is that what the player wants? And again, it's hard for me to talk on all these things because we don't know for sure what the actual plan is. Like a lot of what our board does, we don't know what they're planning to do. But it wouldn't surprise me if they're just using players just for their own benefit, which doesn't actually help the development of the player, help the player as an asset, which also helps the club, so that if we want to move them on later down the line, we can actually move them on. So it's all interesting and equally frustrating. We'll see how it pans out. I mean, overall, I'm excited because we've got a freaking big Champions League game away at a big stadium against a big team, champions of Italy, with some stakes on the line for both teams. So I'm excited about that. In terms of our transfer business, as always with this club, I'm left pretty apathetic. So we'll see what happens end of January in terms of where we end up with our options.
How do you feel about the whole news around Raheem Sterling now leaving? He had 1.5 years left on his contract. There's about 20+ mil left of his contract to be paid. Financially, it's meant to have been a benefit to Chelsea that they've reached this agreement where he's now a free agent. He can go out and find his football elsewhere. But no Raheem Sterling, no, or more on the books, mate, which we know was 325k plus a week,
Yeah, no, that's good news. When I wish it happened earlier for both the club's sake and also the player's sake, because as much as maybe he didn't show his best self at Chelsea, he's still a big name. And still got some, quality left in his boots. Again, he's only 31. He's old in terms of football years because he's been balling since 16, 17 when he broke through at Liverpool. So in footballer years, he's pretty old, but at the same time, he probably still got another couple of decent seasons left in him. And we'll see if he goes to, like, I don't know, a Palace or a West Ham or somewhere. I'd imagine in London, so he can be next close to his family. So we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, I just wish this happened sooner. And we'll see what the club does with the extra funds that we have available now.
Yeah, and that's really it. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Napoli game very shortly, guys. Under an hour left to the team news, which we'll be talking about here as well. Benji's just jumped in the live as well. Big up to my boy Benji, as always. Good to see you.
What's going on? What's going on? Hold on, let me put my camera on.
Is he got his? There you go. He's got his background again. Yeah, let's go, Benji.
Yeah, indeed.
Ads. I think this is Robert's son. Look at the background, man. That's what I keep
calling. Okay. Not son, but more like it's more like a nephew thing. You know what I'm saying?
Nephew,
like nephew. Yeah.
Yeah.
And using your uncle's studio, I rate it. It's a good setup, man. I like it.
Definitely. Otherwise, what's
Benji,
going on?
What we saying about Sterling leaving and this news that's just come out about Chelsea going all in for Jeremy Jacquet from Fabrizio Romano, man?
Yeah, they better because first of all, we need a defender. And he's one of the best in his age group, in my opinion. Sterling, hallelujah. Finally, God answered my prayers. I knew God was real all this time. But I think God is even more real today. Because, finally that brother can just leave. It was about time, to be honest. It was just about time. So Yeah, I'm a happy guy. Still, means nothing. It's just we're saving more money and more wages. So now go all out for Jacket, and hopefully we can get him.
Well, again, we've got Fabrizio Romano comments here again recently saying it's going to be a busy couple of days at Chelsea. It doesn't feel like it, right? Because we've just done absolutely nothing all the way through this window. And now we're being told I think it's Monday that the transfer window finishes for January. But now we're being told that before the end of January, Chelsea are going to be busy. There's going to be a couple of things that's going to be going on, Matt. So what to believe, when it comes to this club?
If I hear one more thing saying we're going to be busy in the next coming days, we're going to have a busy window, I'll tell you, I'd be a millionaire. Like, honestly, it's just such a throwaway word now. And I think what's difficult for like Fabrizio, right, is that there's one side of him where you find him really reliable, but then this side, it's just there for clicks. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's just hard. But I don't know, for the rest of you guys as well, if you hear we're going to be busy in the next coming days, I mean, it's probably the admin team who are going to be busy just writing the briefs. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is why for me, like silly season, I kind of low-key tune out of football. Like, I'm obviously there for the football, I'm there for the games, I'm there for the here we goes when it's like official. But all the rumors, the conjecture, like having to read in between the lines of certain posts and all this, like, it's long, man. I ain't got time for that, especially during the season. Like, if it's the summer and there's no football to watch, then cool, I kind of hear it. But now I'm focused about games. I'm focused about the manager's tactics, what we're going to be doing. Like, that kind of thing is what my interest lies, not on if we're going to be signing another flipping teenager. Like, God forbid, bro. If he comes through the door, I'll address it. If he doesn't, whatever, man. That's how I look at it.
It's facts. I see Raheem, just to finish off now. We're going to talk about the game in a second because that's where we need to go to. But I see Raheem's brought out an Instagram story tweet saying that all eyes on the future, God is great, with the praying mark. As if it's the first sort of tweet that we've seen relating to, us and his situation. Obviously, he's happy as well. Let's be serious. Probably wants to play football, but no one's been able to afford his wages, right? So he's probably just been sitting there thinking like, what to do? In fairness to him, But listen, he's gone. That's the most important thing. Chelsea are going to be busy, supposedly, over these next couple of days. We're going to be obviously monitoring it, and we're going to be live every time. If there is anything that comes out these last couple of days, we'll be here to talk about it, guys. Over 90 people in here. Smash the like, subscribe if you're new. Follow everyone in here right now as well. Please make sure you do follow everyone. And let's talk about the game, right? Because that's what we're here to talk about, the football on the pitch. And we've got a big game tonight against Napoli. And I put a little... I think I said it to Matt, but I put it in one of the groups some with ads of the of depending on win, draw or lose, who we could get all the way up to the quarters.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of share it with you guys quickly so you can just get an idea of it, and then we'll talk about the game obviously with Napoli and what we can expect, etc., etc. But basically, where is it? I need to find it now. That's the only thing. And let's trust me, this group that I'm in right now has been talking a lot today.
Yeah, it's been a lot. There's been a lot today.
Like lots.
Sometimes I'm quite glad I'm not in those groups. I couldn't stay like focused.
You know what? It's one of the only groups that me ads are both in where there's always something controversial going on the day that Chelsea's playing before we've even kicked ball. It's it's just always something.
So whilst I'll read through some comments unless you found it, and then if you have, then we'll carry on.
No, I haven't found it yet, so you can go, mate.
So Taji here saying, so why did we recall Anselmino from Dortmund when he's getting regular minutes? This is a smoke screen. We're not getting Xhaka. Look, probably. Yeah, I think like we were all saying, it's probably a pre-agreement we're going to get. Whether Anselmino will stay until the end of the season and we figure out what to do. Maybe it's another ploy for Dortmund to cough up a bit more money as well, but obviously the relationship with them's fractured, which to be fair, like I said a few days ago, don't really care. They've mugged everyone off in terms of business, so they can get a taste for once. Have you got it, Jem?
Yes, I have indeed. So going on to the game tonight against Napoli, guys, so before we get into it, we're just going to quickly go through what route we could potentially go to depending on whether we win, lose or draw. Now, if we win tonight, obviously we go straight into the round of 16. We don't have to play that extra additional game in the playoffs, which I think when you look at our overall fixtures is probably a good thing because we've got a lot of football, right? We've still got the second leg of the Carabao as well, and FA Cups and other things going on with the Premier League. Big up for Benji drinking wine. Come on, Benji. He's definitely living the life. If we win tonight, our round of 16 opponents will either be Barcelona, Sporting, Man City, or Atletico Madrid. So that's the four clubs that have come up for the round of 16 if we win tonight. Now, if we do get through that one of them when we get to the quarters, could potentially be Arsenal or Bayern Munich. We'd have to play either 1 and 2 of the current leaders of this table. But again, remember, these things can change depending on what happens tonight. Obviously, we're all playing at the same time tonight as well. So, which I find very weird. I don't know why they didn't split it out from yesterday to today, but very interesting. If we lose tonight, we're likely to play. Obviously, we're going to play in the playoffs, which means we've got that one additional game to play. And providing everything goes to plan, it could either be Galatasaray or Karabag. If we lose tonight, that will be the playoffs game. And then in the round of 16, it would either be Bayern or Arsenal at round of 16, which I don't think is potentially the most ideal. And then obviously you've got, if we draw tonight, we play either in the playoffs, Marseille or Leverkusen in the playoffs, and then round of 16 could either be Liverpool or Real Madrid with a quarterfinals up against either Spurs or PSG. And again, this is all dependent on how the other teams progress from tonight. But this is just to give you an idea, if everything goes the way maybe we expect it to, of the routes that we could go. Now, I would say personally that a draw probably benefits us more than anything, because playing all right, you have to play an additional game, but playing Marseille or Leverkusen, I still expect us to win them 2 games. And then you've got Liverpool or Real Madrid, who I don't think are in that much of great form at the moment in the round of 16. So if you can get one of them 2 teams, I think we've still got a very good opportunity. And then after that, Spurs or PSG. Now, I mean, we love Spurs, so give us Spurs in the quarterfinals if they manage to get that far. I would take it. But, I mean, my question to you guys is, what route would you take? I mean, I'll ask Ads first, because he's probably seen this in the chat already. Like, what route would you take tonight? Do you think it's more important just to get the job done and just skip the playoffs, or how do you do it?
Yeah, the most important thing by far for me is just to win tonight and hopefully make top 8, because like, we played a lot of football in the last 12 months, a lot of football. So like, just any opportunity to play less games is big for me. And again, the Champions League, who you get is who you get for me. Obviously, ideally you want as kind a run as possible. So based on obviously, again, I'm going to take your word for it, because I always take your word for things, because you obviously vet yourself very well when it comes to information, Gem. But I feel like there's a lot of permutations that can lead to who we play just because of how tight the table is. There's so many teams on 13 points, even 12 points. Even the teams above us are also in with the thought of being dropping out. Like, for example, if we win today, we're definitely going to go above either PSG or Newcastle, because they play each other. So we'll see in terms of who we play. But again, for me, it's just the most important thing is just to get through, ideally top 8, so that way we have less games. And from there, again, who we play is who we play, because we're talking about the form of Liverpool and Real Madrid, and you're right, they're both not in great form right now. But by the time February and March comes around, who knows how their form is going to be? We know what Real Madrid are like. They can always wake up mid-season and make a finals run in the Champions League. And Liverpool, for all their issues, they are a top team. At least they have a lot of top players, so we can see what they may do. So, but for me, again, most important thing is just to win, and then hopefully, that should hopefully be enough to make sure that we're top 8 and we play 2 less games.
Get Daly's tweet up earlier. He explains. Okay, cool. Have a look at that. Yeah, I mean, the information I got was feeded from me through someone else, just to give us a rough prediction. Obviously, it doesn't mean that it's fixed, because, again, it depends on who progresses, right? PSG might lose, Spurs might lose, Liverpool, but, depending on how things go from now to the round of 16, it's just to give you a rough idea of how it could look, I mean, Matt, how are you feeling about it all, mate?
I think I'm the same as Ads, to be fair. I mean, look, I would like to just get automatic. I wouldn't want to have to play glass of wine now eating sushi.
You living a lifestyle, Saint. Sushi and wine. Like, my man's living right now.
He just come to flex on the chat. I mean, I hear it. I hear it. Sushi and wine on a Wednesday night. Fairs, man.
He's got his sticks in his hand. He's eating sushi. He's drinking wine. No, you must know it's the Chelsea Champions League night when Benji's having wine and sushi. Do you know?
Exactly.
A corporate box of Kings of the Bridge. So if that was a good sticks, I'll be doing that. Sticking it in. That's what I'd be doing. But what? So I mean, look, I'm the same as Ads. Really, I think just I wanted to get top 8, just win tonight, and then I just don't want to have to play off another game. So if we win, who are the fixtures again? If we win, Jim?
if we win, I'm going to try and find Dailies because apparently
Well,
Dailies is a bit more legit.
I mean, you can
Uh,
obviously look, Jeb, but it's just so liquid because of the teams that are so like tight around
yeah,
the top
exactly.
eight.
It's very hard. Barcelona, Sporting, Man City, or Atletico Madrid in the round of 16. We got here. And you don't want Man City, really. And we've played Barcelona. We can do them. I'm not scared of Atletico and Sporting. I expect us to win if we get to that. If we win tonight, that'll be our round of 16. And then quarters against Arsenal or Bayern Munich. Says.
Can I be honest though, right? If I'm being completely honest, I mean, I don't want to play Arsenal, not because I fear that we can't beat them. I think we can beat them, but I'm not really trying to play Arsenal 6 times in a season. Like that's too much for me, and that raises my blood pressure enough as it is. Bayern Munich, I don't want to play. But other than that, I mean, we'll see how Real Madrid are again if they wake up. But I feel like we can beat most teams in this competition, especially the bigger teams, because it just suits how we want to play. You know, maybe like an Atletico Madrid stylistically, that might not suit us because of how they set up. So, but other than that, no, like I'm happy to play a lot of the big teams, Barca, PSG. I wouldn't mind again. Honestly, I like our chances. I
I agree.
You agree, Benji?
Yeah, I do. In my opinion,
where's this tweet?
I just think,
yeah.
In my opinion, I just think that we can take anyone. I'm not afraid of anyone. Of course, you want to win. You don't really want to play a very strong team to begin with. But I think if you get like a Sporting or that type of team, and in the round of 16s, and then you get like a Arsenal Bayern, as a second game, I really don't care. Why? Because you're gonna have to play them sooner or later, anyways. So I'd rather take one of the big boys out, and now you have a bigger possibility of winning it. That's how I think. So I'm not really scared of Arsenal because every time we play Arsenal, we play very good, and especially when it's 2 games, I 100% we can take them for 2 games. So I'm not scared at all. Whatever way we take, it's all about winning. That's what you have to do. Just win your games and do your due diligence. So yeah.
I mean, I think that's fair. I mean, that's the whole point of being in the Champions League, right? Is that you are eventually going to be playing some of these big teams, and you never know. I mean, look at when we have won it. We had, especially the last time we did win the Champions League, that we had a pretty difficult run to get there. It was Atletico Madrid. We had to play obviously Real Madrid as well. I can't remember, there was one other team, Porto. Sorry, so that's not an easy run. I just think I'm like ads. I just don't want to be playing Arsenal again. I don't have the energy for their fans. I don't have the energy for their football to have to play him another time, especially in the Champions League as well, because that's something they'll just be kind of bragging about. So I just can't be bothered.
Yeah, I don't really understand this format that he's put here. I mean, he's saying if we win, but he's listing all the games that are on time. I don't understand it, so I can't really explain. It's a bit too complicated. So yeah, I mean, one of the things that stood out for me tonight, we're talking about tonight's game, is Napoli haven't lost at home since December 2024, guys. Jesus Christ. I mean, I thought they had 11 injuries right now. When I looked at their last lineup, I mean, that lineup, we looked at it yesterday, me, Matt, and Benji. It looks pretty stinky. Other than Hoyland up front and McTominay being fit through the middle and having Di Lorenzo as their right centre back, it looks pretty weak, but that's an impressive stat still.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's when you see it like that, it then makes you think, is the fixture going to be harder? But I think, like you just said as well, though, Jem, the amount of injuries they've got, surely that's going to impact them. And I don't think they've played the quality. I'm not saying that Chelsea are world class or anything at the moment, but they've not played really anyone of the quality of the Premier League, I think, for a fair bit of time now. So I think the injuries having a massive factor. I think we should be able to do it.
Oh shit! I need to pull that. Oh no. The one reason I want top 8 tonight is we'd have the second leg of round 16 game at Stamford Bridge. Nothing hits harder than a second leg UCL night at the Bridge. We'd lose partly. We'd lose partly that if we don't win tonight, playoff won't hit the same. I agree with that. I think there's nothing as big as Chelsea second legs in a round of 16 at home. I think that always works better. Personally, I prefer to go away first and home in the second leg. Chelsea are guaranteed a home second leg in the playoffs, but only top 8 would secure a second leg round 16 tie at home. and it's unlikely, but a fourth place finish would guarantee home advantage to the quarterfinals. Unfortunately, us messing up versus Atlanta and Karabag denied us of that as well. Well, that's where Spurs are currently, which sucks, but we move. Also, something else for Chelsea, for us, Chelsea's away games in the UCL this season have been 2 losses and a draw. That's not impressive, guys. We've not won. Have we not won? We have won away, haven't we? Have we not won a Champions League game away? Yeah.
Nope.
Oh
Nope.
shit!
Not at all.
Oh shit, guys! Now, how do we feel about that? Then talk to me about tonight's game. Then what are we worried about?
I just completely forgot about that. Look, I think the first game against Bayern, I think, was very difficult for us. I think any team that you would have struggled, especially first game back in the Champions League. And look, if it wasn't for a couple of mistakes, we wouldn't have. I think that would have been a draw. Karabag, okay, that's difficult for I think any team, but we should have won against Atalanta. So yeah, it's worrying. It is worrying, mate.
Ads, when you look at the Napoli team, I said there's 11 injuries at the moment, and a lot of key players that would be starting for them. So you'd probably argue and say that this is probably a good time to be playing Napoli. They lost to Juventus last game round, actually got pretty battered as well. They're not a team that like to sit back. They're a team that like to come out and play. Again, are these things that are going to work in an advantage for us tonight, do you think?
You'd like to think so, man. I mean, obviously, the stat about us not winning currently, obviously, in the Champions League away from home is not surprising. It's hard to win away in the Champions League. It's not an easy thing to do. But we have to do it if we want to make sure we get top 8. And yeah, Napoli's style of play, it can suit us a bit more. I feel like the main thing, especially playing these European sides, right, is we're going to have the athletic advantage. Again, a lot of the English teams have that advantage right now where they're just a bit more athletic, especially at this stage of the season where tiredness hasn't fully kicked in. So yeah, I feel like for sure we can impose ourselves physically on them. And also at times be willing to play in transition, let them have the ball, sit in the mid block, and then wait for our moments to pounce. And it benefits us immensely that they need to win. They have to win. If they want any chance of even getting to the playoff round, they need to win this. They're at home, so that can suit us. And yeah, man, I just want to see us perform. I want to just see us go out there and actually impose our game on them. You know, as I always say in big games, avoid bozo moments, please no red cards, and we have a good chance of winning because we're always going to compete in the big games. And I can't remember the last big game where we just got completely smoked and we had no chance. We always give ourselves a chance based on the fact that we are a good team and we have some really good players. But the last part of winning big games, the most important part is actually being good in both boxes and avoiding stupid mistakes. So we'll see if we do that tonight. I'm pretty confident, but of course, if I'm looking at it, aside from the fact that they need to win, and that might open them up to giving us chances.
Yes,
I think if you were a betting man, you probably would be betting on a draw because it's a tough game away from home. So we'll see if we pull it out because this will be a statement win if we go and win this. So
yeah, and you're talking
hopefully we do it.
As well, I mean, look, for Liam, this could be huge. You know, this could be huge for him and his confidence, and I think our overall confidence in Liam too. Because let's be honest, since he's come in, we're like, oh, okay, you know, you do a lot of talking. Let's see the talking on the pitch. And I think the Palace game was his best game. I think from a performance point of view, and I think in tonight, if we do a statement win and get that top 8, I think there should be more confidence built around him then. So I think that
I do.
If we do win, it will be a statement win.
I agree.
Yeah,
The only thing I have to say is this is not Maresca. It's a little bit different. I have full belief we're gonna win today. Full belief. The only thing maybe that could, kick us in the back a little bit is we all know how Rossini likes to do when it's about 15 minutes left over game, likes to go defensive, secure the win. I hope it's not like a 1-0 game or like a 2-1 game and we decide to go defensive. I hope we can attack as much as possible, especially when they're going to step out a little bit. Our team is very young compared to theirs, so we should be having much, much more legs and maybe not physicality, but, we should be able to win a lot of battles in terms of, duels and stuff. So I'm very excited for this game. I 100% believe we are going to win today.
Benji, when you look at that team, mate, obviously, again, we looked at it yesterday, but that was the Napoli team that last fielded against Juventus and lost 3-0. And again, they are missing a lot of players. I mean, Milinkovic-Savic was announced injured earlier on as well with one other guy, I can't remember. But this is their this without obviously Lukaku, because Lukaku was on the bench as well, could start tonight as well, which is another interesting thing. I mean, this is their team, mate. How does it look? Yeah.
It looks very dead. This team is extremely bad. And I've been saying this for a very long time, to be honest. I was one of those people that actually watched the game, Napoli versus Juve. It was absolutely shocking. Now, to be fair to them, it's Champions League now, so you never know, right? You never know. Champions League is much more different than the league is, right? So
I mean, to say they're extremely dead, I mean, I partly hear you, but I'm also like, I mean, are they any worse than Brentford or Palace? And do we look amazing against those teams? Not necessarily, especially Brentford, or Papos. I don't want to completely undermine a team, especially a team that has Lobotka in midfield. I think Lobotka's a very underrated midfielder. I think he's quality. So they've got some good players in there. Of course, they got a really good manager. He's maybe not the best in Europe, that's for sure. But again, man, we lost at Atalanta away. So I'm not gonna look at Napoli. Yes, they're not in great form. I think 1 win in 6. Got battered on the weekend, but I'm not gonna look at them and be like, that's easy food, because we just lost to Atalanta. So yeah, man.
But
Ultimately, I'm confident we will be in positions to win. It's just whether we get over the line. That's the thing with Chelsea. We don't always do that. So,
but the thing is, I find as well, this has elements of like a Newcastle and even the Atalanta game. You've got to be like, the first 20 minutes, the crowd is going to be up for it. They're going to be going in for every challenge, tackle, and we have to manage that momentum because unfortunately, our track record, we're not very good at doing that when there is pressure. We seem to crumble and mistakes start coming in. And so if we can just keep the ball, start passing it around, quiet the crowd, and kind of deflate that kind of momentum of them, then I think that's when we can take control and advantage. But that first 20 minutes, they are going to be full up for it, regardless of who is injured or not. They know that they've got to win tonight to get out like a Brentford and stuff. It's very similar to them. They're at home. It's going to be a real ruckus crowd, and they're going to be well up for it. So we just have to be really careful and concentrate for the first 20 minutes.
Yeah. I think that's the issue for me, really, is that when you look at the tempos that we have been playing at currently at this, even under Rafinha, it's that we seem to start games very slow. And if you're ever going to have a chance to get a goal against Chelsea, and I use games like the Newcastle game away, even though we came back into it away, I'm talking about away games, not home, just up your tempo, play at it from 0. You've got the fans behind you. They're going to roar it. And, just hope that Chelsea are going to be slow to get out the blocks. Now, listen, we are usually quite slow out the blocks, which does worry me a little bit. They need to be high in tempo, and we need to start seeing a consistent high in tempo performance from 0 to 90. It can't be we get to 45 minutes, we're 1-0 behind, and it's, actually, Rafinha's grilled us. We need to wake up. Let's go. We've got another 2-3 gears here. We've not even hit it yet. And then we come out at 45, we score by 60, and then maybe we draw or potentially win at the end. Why do we always find ourselves in them positions? And that's what I'm a bit worried about. It's more about our tempo more than anything and how we're going to approach this game. I just need us to be on it from the start, needs to be on it.
Yeah.
Douglas Luiz is officially at Aston Villa now.
Cool. So that was a waste of time as well. Thanks, Chelsea.
Yep.
To be honest, I don't really care about that signing. It was a loan, just a dry ass loan. If you're gonna buy anyone, please buy me Keith Smith. That's the midfielder I really want in the summer. He's gonna be expensive, but I couldn't give it 2 dams. Go and get your hands on him.
You love Keith Smith, didn't you? You talk about him all the time.
Bro, listen. It's only I cannot say I was the first one, but it was few accounts I was actually talking about Keith Smith when he was pretty much doing nothing. I was one of them, and now I see everybody wanting Keith Smith. This guy is legit. Let me just tell you that. He's an 8. He's not like an Andre that's defensive. He's more on the attacking side, can play 10. He played 10 in the academy. So he's a natural 10, ball carrier, athletic, shoots from distance. And Jem, you know me. I've been saying all this time, we need midfielders that can actually shoot from distance because we have none. Enzo is not really shooting from distance anymore like he used to before coming to Chelsea. So we need shooters. We need shooters that can, take shots from distance and, cause a little bit of problems, so the defense can close out a little bit different. So Keith Smith is legit. He is 100% legit.
I want to quickly go through a team lineup with you guys. We've heard that Cole Palmer is travelling and he's with the squad as well. Whether he starts or not, we're going to find out very shortly. We've got about 20 minutes till the team lineups are announced as well. So we're going to be, we're going to be highlighting that and going through that quickly as well. We have also got a space tonight as well, guys. We'll be on a space on Twitter after this game as well. So if you want to join after this, you're more than welcome. Just give me a follow on Twitter and make sure you're following our Discord as well, man. We've got over 120 people in there now. It's growing massively. Join the Discord. There's the link there. Just click it and it will take you straight to the community of Kings of the Bridge. Keeps you up to date with things. We're all talking in there outside of it as well. And it's a really good place and community to be as well. How are we looking? I'm going to just say the four at the back, and I just want to know if you guys agree with me here, because I've got a feeling we probably agree. Kukurea, Chalobah, Fofana, Gusto.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So are we all agreeing that Reece James is playing in midfield tonight?
Yeah, I think so too.
Mm.
Matter of fact, you know what? Matter of fact, Andrew could be very much used for this game.
Is he though? I got a feeling in games like this away, he's Reece James and Caicedo still. You know, I've just got this.
But the fact, then is Esteban starting? Do you think?
Yeah,
He better start.
Then I really don't see a world when.
I don't think Cole Palmer's starting. By the way, I'm just saying.
Palmer's definitely not starting.
No, he's there. He's going to be on the bench.
Esteban has to play tonight. I don't want to see Neto and Garnacho on the wings. I'm not doing all this.
We
I think it's a perfect game for Esteban too.
Ideally, I would go like this. I don't know if you agree. I'm just going to lay it out. I'm going with Reece, Caicedo, Reece and Caicedo there. I'm going with Enzo in the 10 again, and then I'm going with Esteval on the right, because I think Esteval and Enzo's connections have been quite impressive of recent in the way that we're playing.
Yeah,
I would play Pedro Neto on the left, even though I don't like him there. But I don't want to see Garnacho out there, and I don't see Gittins getting in this team. And I honestly think that the lap's going to start tonight, just because I think that he's the type of player that's going to really stretch him and try and run into space. And he's a bit more better at running in space than what João Pedro is in this type of game. And I think there's going to be quite a bit of space for him to link up and make runs in behind, like we saw against, I mean, it's a long time ago, but West Ham away, where you remember one of the goals that we scored was when the lap linked up with Esteval, which then Esteval carried the ball into the box and put the ball in the box, and Enzo Fernandez scored from it as well. Like, I feel like there's a good opportunity for us to play on the counter.
I mean, if I can go in first, I mean, I'll say I'm disappointed about two things right now, looking at my screen. Firstly, I'm disappointed that Benji hasn't brought out some caviar or a rack of ribs or something else, something else extravagant. I was waiting on something else a bit more extravagant, but maybe, I don't know, maybe he's going on the way to the store to get something else. But in terms of the lineup though, I agree with most of it. Again, I'm 50-50 on James. I feel like just because, again, obviously his fitness thing, like that's always like something in the back of my mind. And I also feel like because we're going to be closing this game in probably a high pressure situation, I probably want James on the pitch. I don't know if James is going to be able to play 90 minutes. So I feel like I'd rather him come off the bench and help us close out the game in what's going to be a hostile environment and probably a high pressure situation. But again, I don't mind if he starts or Santos starts. I'm kind of okay with that. But I am disappointed that you're putting the lap there, just because for me, again, the best that are starting, I want the people that are going to connect best of, for me, our best attacker, which is Esteban. And for me, that's clearly João Pedro, who is in good form. Probably his best run of form since the start of the season in terms of the goals he's scoring and being involved in build-up and, not frustrating you, Jem, with taking like 100 touches on the ball, that kind of thing.
I did say to you, though, I don't think he's a 10. I've been saying it for a while.
And I agree that he's more of like a second striker or a striker where there's going to be space, and there's going to be space today. So he's going to suit that kind of game. And I feel like I would want to start him and then have the lap off the bench. Why wouldn't the lap
suit space, though? That's my question. Why wouldn't a game like this not be good for the lap as well? Because this is the one thing I think it would work for him.
Because he's going to use the space and try and jump off the top rope and do a fucking WWE move, bro. Like, I don't really need that right now. I need good link-up play. I need somebody that I can trust. And if we get a chance, I need somebody who's going to be clinical. And I thought that's going to be right now, João Pedro.
And also, the other reason I didn't put... This is not because I don't want to see João Pedro up front, by the way. I would have gone with João Pedro. This is what I think he's going to do right now. I would have played João Pedro. I think he's going to use the lap tonight, because I also think that he's being careful with... He's kind of managing both of João Pedro and the lap. If you've noticed, he's not overplaying one or the other. He's kind of playing Delap in some games and playing João Pedro's in others, and I think he's trying to just have that balance between the two. So João Pedro played 85 minutes last game against Palace, so that was a long ago. So I think he might start João Pedro and bring Delap on later, but it's just my assumption.
No, that's a great point. To be fair, to be fair, like I started in the same front four. Obviously, I don't necessarily see that, but obviously, I would prefer to start João Pedro. But obviously, I just can't start. Again, I don't mind getting starting, but I think stylistically, you probably want more of a runner on the left because Esteban's going to be coming a bit more to feet. So you want more of our road runners on the left. But I can't, for the life of me, ever start Garnacho. I just can't do it. I can't start the guy, and I feel like he's also better coming off the bench anyway. So I'd rather start with Neto, to be fair, and then have him come off the bench.
What about you both? What about you guys? Again,
it's difficult, right? Because I see what Ads is saying that João is the informed striker at the moment, and I think you're right. If it was me as well, I would start. I think what you are saying, Jem, is also correct. That kind of West Ham game could potentially be a blueprint. My only worry is what Toby's saying, though, and not necessarily I think he'll get sent off, but I worry about Delap with how the Italians play. They got the dark arts in them, and you can imagine when there's a big 50-50 that they're just going to roll on the floor and they're going to disrupt the game. And obviously with Delap, his game is being that hold-up player, trying to be that difficult striker up front. So that's the only reason I'm like, I do wonder if they're going to potentially start João. But I think for this game, I would like to see Delap being there. I want to see how he does link up with Estevao as well. But I think we're all in general consensus.
I think Delap's been better the last couple games. I don't know about you guys, but I'm seeing a better version of him under Rossini, which I expected to because he's obviously played with him under Hull City, right? So I feel like, there's more to come from Delap, of course. We've not seen enough of him. And when he gets the opportunities like he might tonight, maybe, I really think he's got to take him because you're spot on. João Pedro at the moment is our best number 9. And that's stats even prove that. He's got the highest goal contributions along with Enzo Fernandez in our whole team right now. So that goes to show, how effective he has been in these type of games and especially away games, right? It seems like he seems to step up more in these type of games. Newcastle away, Palace away, City away. Yeah, he seems to thrive on these sort of big occasions. So maybe from a mentality standpoint, it probably makes more sense going with João Pedro because he thrives on these kind of nights. But Delap needs to step it up as well, though, right? This is why it would be interesting to see what he does with the striking.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he starts tonight, Delap, it's a massive opportunity for him. I mean, starting in, let's be honest, in everyone's eyes, really, it's a must-win. So, for that stage, if he does start, it's a huge confidence booster for him that his manager is relying on him to be there. But I think it's either or, to be fair.
What's his name?
Let me ask you guys a question, if I can. What would you guys' reaction be if Estebao's on the bench?
I wouldn't be happy.
And wait, hold on.
It'll be like this if he's on the bench, I'm assuming. It'll be Garnacho and Neto, wouldn't it?
Be Garnetto.
Yep.
Then I want João Pedro up front.
You know what? That's almost as disgusting as the tattoo he's just got. That is just awful.
Yeah, good lord. Oh, good lord.
But I mean, it could happen though, Ads, right? We could be thinking, Neto, it's more that work rate, being more defensive minded. It could happen, and the fact that Garnacho didn't play the weekend, that might mean that he might play now as well. So I just hope not. I just think the fact that every time we've seen Estevao play, and we all know this, we just seem to play better. We're more fluid in attack. And I think this is a sort of game that, I know it's going to be very different to obviously what it was against Barca. But after how he played against Palace as well, I just think you've got to keep that momentum going. Because he's a youngster, I get it. But he's not a youngster. He's just that next level up. And you have to be playing your best players in the best competition in the kind of Europe, really. So you have to play him. But would I be surprised if this happens? I wouldn't. I could imagine this could happen. I would be worried, but it wouldn't.
This is my view, and I'll be very quick with it. I think when Cole Palmer's not in this team, someone that can provide them magical final third moments or just do the basics as you need to do as an attacker, be a threat, then I think you have to play Esteval, because Esteval, for me, has shown in this short space of time that he is completely different to every other winger that we have. And I mean from everything, from an understanding of his role, playing off the wing, a natural winger, someone that can actually beat his man. He does it better than any of them, in my opinion. He's eye for a pass. You know, he knows when to release the ball. You know, in most times, the fact that he brings creativity, the fact that he cuts inside and shoots, because we don't have enough of that, and he shoots. He usually tends to shoot on target. I think when you look at Esteval, if Palmer's not in the team and Esteval's available and he's ready to play, you have to start your best players. And right now, Esteval is one of our best players in form right now. He's along with Enzo and Pedro in terms of goal contributions. He's not far behind him. He's our third highest in goal contributions this season. You start your best players in the games where you need to win. You don't put them on the bench. You start them. That's just the way I see it, you know. And he is, like I said, one of our best players for a mile. You can see it. You know, we're a better team with him on the pitch. Don't put him on the bench and give him an impact into the team. Start him and let him fucking continue his rhythm of form like we saw under Palace when he started and was very good. I want the same thing from him again. Just keep him confidence in him, right? Because he's still very young. Yes, he's still learning, but the talent's there, right? We can all see it. Scores with his left, scores with his right, can assist. He's just quality. He is. He's really quality. You got to play him, in my opinion. You can't keep benching him, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I feel like he just has to start. But again, based on the Cole Palmer point, also just based on the fact that I'm not trying to see Garnett or whatever, ever. But again, we've just rarely seen. Obviously, this season obviously has mostly been Maresca. We've just never seen the same winger start back to back, and I don't think Rossini's done that yet. Hopefully, that changes, or maybe at least it's number 49 on the left rather than Neto. Because for me, Esteban just has to start, man. He just has to start. So we'll see what he does, though. We'll see. Again, lineup will be out pretty soon, innit? It's only
15 minutes, under 15 minutes. No. When was the last time Steve-O played back-to-back games and actually played well? Even in Brazil, they managed his minutes. Just relax on the kid, man. Too much pressure. This is not about putting pressure on him, Frankie. You're getting it completely mixed up. If you've got a player that's in form and he's available and fit to play, you've got to continue playing him. You don't see the best teams in the world, and I'm going to use Yamal as an example for Barcelona, going, oh, let's just rest him because he had a really good game this game round. And, you know, even though the game's in 3 days, we're just going to look after him and let him sit on the bench. You don't do that with these type of players. These players need to play. In my opinion, they need to be on the pitch, whether they're playing really well or they're not. It's about them learning and taking these experiences at the top level. And this is what he's doing this season. He's taking an experience and understanding this league, the environment, you know, what level he needs to be at consistently. Of course, he's not always going to be great, but he's still much more of a threat on the pitch than fucking Garnacho. Do you know what I mean? So, like, it's a no-brainer for me, you know? Like,
he also came off pretty early on the weekend as well. So, like, yeah, it's not like he played the full 90 either.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean, though? Like, people saying protecting Cotton Wool him, he's not played back-to-back games well, ads. But, like, if you're good enough, you play, right? If you're fit and available, you play, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, people kind of overdo this point about, oh, you got to protect the player more. And if he's played like 4 or 5 games in a row, then I get it a bit more. But I think 2 games in a row isn't going to kill the kid, I'll be honest. So
no, not at all. And the thing is, it's not like it is some. Of course, he's got massive potential, but he's almost become a star already in my eyes. Like in terms of performances at the moment, like considering what we have on the pitch, like I think we're all in general consensus. You have to pay your best players, and let's be honest, this is a massive important game. This isn't just a group stage game. This is like a must-win theoretically to get the top 8. So you have to.
We're not in a position where we can fuck around because we're not in good form ourselves, really. Let's be serious. We might have won a couple of games here and there, but we're not playing amazing overall. You know what I mean? We can't afford just to go, Esteval, you ain't got to play this game because we've got Quenda who can play there. You know, what we're doing is going, Esteval, you don't have to play this game. It's all right. We'll put Garnacho on, you know, and we'll play Neto, who plays every fucking game. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's my problem with it. It's the levels, right? It's the levels from where we could be to what we're actually putting on the pitch. And I agree with Ads when he says Garnacho is better off the bench. I don't want to see Garnacho starting majority of his games. I want to be looking at the end of the season and going, oh, he's played X amount of games and 3/4 of them he's come off the bench. you know. And if he impacts it and he scores a couple of goals from coming off the bench, then that's a benefit to us, right? Because he's obviously becoming a bit of a super sub in many ways, you know. That's what I want, you know. But several clubs want Raheem Sterling. Napoli is one of them. The Italians have contacted the entourage of the English international. The competition is tough on this file. So apparently several clubs are interested in Raheem Sterling. Napoli are one of them. So see, I'm not really interested where he goes, to be honest, but that's Fabrice Hawkins, who's just come out with that.
He wants to stay in London, though. That's the thing. So
yeah, that was the briefing.
Do we worry about the attack, Benji? Lukaku, Højlund, whoever the hell it is that's playing up there today. Is there anyone we should be worried about? McTominay.
Lukaku's definitely not going to start. He's only going to be coming off the bench. They only really start with one striker. They might end with two, but they definitely only start with one striker. Højlund has had a really good season, to be fair to him. So I'm definitely not going to I'm definitely not going to underplay what he's capable of doing. Hasn't he got 6 goals in the Champions League so far already? Like he's doing all right, man. Obviously I saw him in the Premier. Obviously I know enough to know that he's not flipping going to be like, I don't know, prime Fernando Torres or anything. He's a good striker, nothing crazy. But they've got threats. They got threats, man. Like we can't underplay them, even though they're in not great form. They have a lot to play for. They're at home. They're still the champions of Italy, so they're no mugs. Yeah. I think they're better than Atalanta, and they beat us. So you can't take teams like this for granted, man. You can't do that.
No, yeah, but we lost to Atalanta just because we had a bad coach that pretty much didn't want to coach. He just wanted superstars.
Wait. You're saying that game was just on Maresca?
Yeah, mainly. Yeah, mainly. The players as a player, you got to do your due diligence, sure. But when you look at how we played that game, I'm looking at the coach. I'm sorry, I'm not really looking at the players. The players can only do that much. You can only play. But no, I'm looking at Maresca for that one.
Yeah, but you look at Maresca quite a lot, though, Benji, haven't you? You've been
I do. Because Jim, there's a clear difference on how we play now. Okay, cool. You can definitely say, it's a manager bounce. Cool.
What's the difference?
But
What's the difference? What's the difference? Go into it. I want to hear it. What's your?
Okay. First of all, we're utilizing the squad now. We're not only using about 13 or 14 players. We're pretty much utilizing the whole squad. We're seeing Gittins a little bit more. We're seeing Esteban. He just came back from his little spell injury or whatever it was, or sickness. I don't know. We have not multiple. Matter of fact, I actually can say multiple. Multiple players actually looking so much better. Enzo Fernandez, he was already playing good for Maresca, but I think his role now is a little bit different. He can, now he has the allowance to go deep, pick up the ball, spray. Well, Jimmy, you were talking shit, bro.
No, but Benji, just to answer, because I want you to flesh out this point, right? So who were the players who are playing better? So you already said Enzo, but he was already playing good, so that kind of cancels out.
Jim knows me. I was crashing Chalobah before this. I think Chalobah has been looking very good. I think Hatta has been looking very good. Cucurella is mainly.
I think even a dog's arguing with this one. Like, how has Chalobah been way better? Because Chalobah came in when he came back from not being in the team for a bit. He came back with Fofana, and they got like 6 clean sheets in like 8 games. So it's not like Liam Rosenior's made him a good player now. No, he played good form at times under Maresca too.
Okay, but you can get clean sheets. That by itself doesn't mean the performance was good.
Benji, I watched him. Chalobah was playing great those games.
My question to you, more when you said we've been so much better under Rosenior compared to Maresca, is when I asked you the question of what is it that's been better out of this? Explain it. I thought you was going to talk more about it from a tactical standpoint. But it sounds like what you're saying is that individual players have been better under Rosenior than what we've seen under Maresca. Is that what you're clarifying? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but Jim, that's how you also look better. I think everybody is pretty much undermining that if you don't really use your squad, at some point you're gonna look shit. We all know this. We've been having this problem as a Chelsea club, as a club even before Maresca or even before Rosenior. When managers pretty much didn't use the squad, you can look wow for a specific period of time, but after that, it's gonna be like, you know what? Now somebody's gonna get fatigued, and the backups is not gonna be good enough. We all know this. I'm just impressed by the backups are finally playing better, in my opinion. The starters is, the starters are, it's the starters. I'm not really gonna talk too much about the starters because they always perform, but specific individuals
What's
play
the
so much
tactical
better now.
difference? What's the
I think the
tactical difference,
I would
please?
say the tactical difference is the midfield, mainly, and then you could definitely say the fullbacks play a little bit different.
What's different
Um,
about it? Tell me. What's the difference with the midfield and the fullbacks? I just
the
want
midfield is so much. It's a very tight midfield. It's a very tight midfield, and they rotate very beautifully. For example, when we saw Enzo Fernandez come down to that A position, between on the left hand side, uh, Andrew was stepping up and Moy was staying, meaning they was taking each other's positions.
Okay.
We have seen this before with Maresca, so I'm not gonna say Maresca didn't do this. I've seen this before with Maresca, but I think we didn't see it enough. That's my point. So when I say I'm not gonna say Maresca was a bad coach, I'm just saying I don't think Maresca utilized the whole squad like Rossini is doing right now to get better results. I don't think
Okay,
he
let me let
coached.
me let me let me jump in there, right? Because obviously, in terms of you saying the squad players have been better, I feel like the evidence for that is maybe what the Charlton game, which Maresca would have rotated the team anyways. Outside of that, I don't know when because has Hato played that much more minutes. He's played more. I agree.
Yeah.
He's been rotating the squad a bit more, but I feel like there's not enough game time for us to be like. There's a lot of evidence of him rotating the squad has made us significantly better. Now, again, you mentioned something tactically, and I agree. There's been some small tactical tweaks, especially in the midfield
Mhm.
that have been different. That have been a difference, yes. But the main thing is, has there been enough tangible evidence that we've been a lot better under Rosinho in terms of just performances?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's what I want to hear. What are these tangible things that have shown us to be much better performance-wise? Because for me, in terms of performances, we'll put Charlton aside because Charlton, any man,
Yeah. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
could have coached
Yeah.
them. We would have probably still
Yeah.
slapped them. It doesn't really matter,
Yeah.
right?
Skip that. Yeah. Skip that.
Okay, Arsenal, you could argue there were some good things in that, but ultimately we lost. I mean, it could have been heavier. But again,
Mhm.
Palace game, I don't think it was great. Brentford, we got outplayed. And Papos
Yeah.
was the same thing we saw a lot of times in the Conference League last year. So where are the performances that have been significantly better? I want to hear what's been significantly better in this short time.
Everything. I humbly believe Rosinha has elevated this. Not okay. When I say elevate, I'm not gonna say going from here to absolutely to the sky. I'm just gonna say performance wise and player wise, and not too much tactically because there's not really too much he can do tactically at this point. What I mean about that is when I look at Brentford, for example, some people say we got outplayed. For me, it was just like, oh, okay, you still won the game. Sometimes you are gonna get outplayed in that type of sense. I really don't mind. I think at that point it was more about the results because we pretty much needed those 3 points. I think the recent time I would definitely say Palace. I can only speak about Palace. And I think Palace we saw the real scenes at how we pretty much wanted to play. And that is the evidence that I can go off of. Now I could be completely wrong. Don't get me wrong. I could
Do
be
you not?
completely wrong,
Yeah.
but I don't think I'm completely wrong. I actually don't.
Benji,
I
do you not just think it's more the case of that Racinia's playing more of the system that he's opting to play with, which is the 3-man midfield. It's just the fact that he's opting to use that more than what Maresca did, because we did see Maresca use a 3-man midfield in the bigger games, right? Where Reece James would come on
Yeah.
and we play with Caicedo or Enzo in there or Palmer, whatever. You can use the PSGs, all the games that we played in the past where we played for it. Do you not just feel that the difference is that we're just using a two-man pivot midfield more than we did under Maresca, basically?
It's not. You mean a three,
Yeah.
Jem, it's not only a 3-man midfield. Like you said, we have seen Maresca do a 3-man midfield before. I'm not talking specifically about um I'm not really talking specifically about that 3-man midfield. I'm just saying how you use it. That's number one. Is very key. Now we're not gonna use that 3-man midfield every single damn game, especially when Palmer's back. It's gonna be way more rotation on that DPL position or DM position. We're gonna see Enzo sometimes. Maybe Santos steps in sometimes for specific games. I'm just saying the overall coaching of the squad looks so much better, in my opinion. It looks so much better because the instructions Andre has now, the instructions Moy has now, the instructions that Enzo has now, is much more clear. Before, I was wondering why is Moy running so goddamn much, even though we have yeah, my bad, man.
That's all right. No. Sorry, Benji, you can carry on a sec. So it's Sanchez, Gusto, James, Fafana, Cucurella, Caicedo, Andre Santos, Esteval, Fernandez, Neto, Joao Pedro.
All right, wait a sec. Who's at the back?
So you got Gusto, James, Fofana, Cucurella. Looks like Reece James,
what we
right
just said.
centre back.
Oh, it's a back three.
There's no
Okay, it's a back
Chalobah.
three.
There's no Chalobah.
No Chalobah.
What?
It's a
Daly,
back.
Wow.
Wait a
Wow.
second. Reece
It's
James.
a back three.
I
Reece
mean,
James.
no, it's the same formation. It's just James centre back.
Yeah.
What?
No, I
Okay,
think it's
yeah.
No, we know the shape is clear. Gusto's right back, James centre back alongside Fofana, Cucurella left back. Then it's Caicedo, Santos pivot, and in the same front four against Palace. No, because you said João Pedro, right?
I'm just gonna get out.
Something's confusing me. I'm trying to do it with the lineups here.
I just think on the ball, Reece James is gonna be a RCB and then Fofana in the middle.
Yeah, with Cucurella left back, yeah, that will be as usual. Yeah, but obviously we're gonna defend in the four as always, and it's gonna be James centre back, which we've only seen this season, to my knowledge, against Liverpool second half, when obviously we had hella injuries and he had to move there. And he did well against Isak, to be fair. But
Chalobah's on the bench. Spanish Shield's on the bench. Josh is on the bench.
Yeah, this is kind of mad to me.
Why is he going with James as a?
So again, all this talk about rotation, right? Again, we've not rotated much today, which I'm fine with. But we didn't rotate. I don't really want us to rotate the front post. I'm happy with that. We've not really rotated much. Again, all this talk about we've changed so much in terms of rotation. We didn't do that. Also, Palmer wasn't really fit against Brentford, and he played 90 minutes. So that is again something that we criticised Maresca about. But then Rosenior did that. But anyways, I'm very surprised that James is starting centre back. That's quite
me too.
Shocking.
Okay, I'm going to show you how I think it's going to go on attack, and I think this might be this. This is screaming to me that this is going to be more of a back three in this game.
Nah, it's going to be the same thing as always. So Benji's right. Yeah, Reece James will be right centre back on the ball, but we've always built up with like a three at the back. Sometimes there's a two, but I think it's going to probably be more of a three. I think there's a reason
for that, Ads. Is I think you're going to see Malo Gusto
as a right wing or wing back.
I think we're going to go like this, where Fofana's your sent CCB. Oh shit, what's good in? You know, you've got your two pivots here. They're not going to move, so they're going to give the protection to the back three. And Gusto's going to allow Esteval to cut inside, which means Enzo's not going to be zone on the 10. Nato's going to pull into here. It's going to be something like that.
And this is what we've done against Bayern Munich and also similarly against PSG. It was just Palmer in the Esteval role. But obviously the right centre back would have been, Chalobah or whoever else, or maybe Fofana and then Tossins in the middle. Like that's so. This is something that we've done many times. It's just Reece James at centre back, which is kind of bizarre. I don't think there's any tactical reason to do this, to be honest. So I don't really get it, to be honest.
My question is, would y'all be surprised if maybe you swap Reece James in the middle and then you have Fofana on the right? So maybe Reece James as a LCB, because there is
that makes it more wild for me. I'm sorry, Benji. That's even more.
No. Yeah. But I'm just saying, do I even trust Fofana in the middle to even be able to pass the ball? Because this motherfucker is trash when it comes to to his feet. I'm not saying it's gonna happen.
Trash is strong, but I can't lie. This is gonna sound mad. I can't believe I've even said this, but Reece James middle centre back actually makes a bit more sense because I feel like Fofana naturally is better as a wide centre back. He's good at driving with the ball. In terms of passing, I agree. His passing's basic. So I think it's just basic, right? He's better at like driving with the ball. If the tactical reason is to put Reece James at central centre back, then okay, I understand it, even though for me, I think it's still overkill. For me, just play your centre backs. There's no reason to really drop for Chalobah in terms of, unless there's any fitness things that I'm not aware of, but then he's on the bench. So, and again, I don't like always rotating centre back. For me, it's a position that you want to have as much continuity as possible. So to put James there is very questionable to me. We'll see how it pans out. Again, I kind of like it that there's now jeopardy. There's now like, okay, Rossini's made a big call. If it works out, he's like a genius. If it doesn't work out, we're gonna be able to talk about it all night. So we'll see what happens. But it's kind of weird to me. I didn't expect this at all.
It's kind of funny that both Benoit and Chalobah is on the bench. I thought one of them was gonna be on the bench. Me personally, I thought it was gonna be Benoit on the bench and then you start Chalobah. The only thing that makes sense in my head is maybe fatigue.
But centre backs, though, man, like you don't got to rotate centre backs because of fatigue. Fofana is getting rotated because he's not reliable in terms of his fitness. So fair enough. But you don't need to rotate Chalobah because of fitness. No, he's played many games in a row and been fine for the most part. So yeah, man. I ultimately trust James enough to perform anywhere on the pitch. I just feel like it's a slight waste of his capability to use him there when we could use a centre back. And also, one of my issues with starting both Caicedo, Santos, James, and Enzo is like if we have an issue in midfield, or tactically we want to change something, or let's say Santos comes off injured, right? What midfield options are on the bench? Obviously, Matt can probably look up who's on the bench today, but I know Lavia's back in training, but I don't see Lavia coming on anytime soon. I think he still needs to be slow rolled in terms of getting back into the team. Is Hugo, is he even fit? I think he had a setback. So like, who's the midfield? So we have no midfield options on the bench now. So that's my issue with starting all these midfielders and two of them not in midfield. We can't change anything in midfield now.
The thing,
we got just quickly. We got Jorgensen, Merrick, Josh, Badiashile, Chalobah, Hato, Palmer, Gittins, Garnacho, George, Delap, Guiu.
So the only one there who can come on in midfield is Hato, because he did come on there in midfield against Palace, but that is not ideal.
But Josh can also play that role.
Hato's been shown there as well.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, Hato could come on, but obviously it's not ideal. Like, yeah, it's interesting, but it's not what I wanted to see. So, but
you know what I think? I just think Rosinha just depends. I think he just banks and we're gonna have the ball the whole game. Because this only screams you're gonna have the ball. Transition, you need a little bit more pace because they don't really have big guys apart from McTominay. Would you count Lobotka as big? I don't know, to be honest.
No, he's a midget. He's a technician.
Yeah. So there's not really too much height in that team that you should be worried about. So not like,
for me, because they have no height, that's why I would want to start, Chalobah or maybe not Tosin or Buddy. I don't like starting us in those centre backs. They're kind of mid. But like, I feel like obviously set pieces is a strength of us. I think we're still second in the Premier League in terms of set piece goals. So that can be something that we used to break up in this game because it's probably going to be a pretty tight game, I'd imagine. So again, if James is starting him to start, be the main guy in our build up, it has some benefits, but I feel like there's more drawbacks to it.
I'm gonna dip there because I've got a space to jump on Twitter. But what I'm going to quickly say to this is that the one thing Rosinha and I've clearly listened to from him when he talks about in press conferences and after game is that he says, and he said this about the Palace game, if you remember, he said, we didn't have a lot of time, but the boys executed everything that I wanted them to do tactically in this game, and they actually done it really well to a standard. So Reece James being called in today, you can only think this is another, it might be not much different, but another instruction where they've been told specifically for this game, this is how we're going to play, but we're going to have Reece in there. Do you know what I mean? So maybe we're going to see what they've learned over this 2-3 day period with Reece maybe either at a CCB or listen, it might be wrong. It might be a back four. And I think it will be a back four off the ball. I think Gusto will just tuck in and we'll play with a back four, but on the ball, it's when we're on the ball, how effective can we be with a back three? Can we then ask Caicedo and Santos to be very confident on carrying the ball and playing the balls quickly into Esteval, into Fernandes? It's going to be all about tempo again with us, That's the way I see it. But I want to dip, so I'll let you guys crack on. Yeah, I'm going with 2-0 Chelsea. I'm going with 2-0 Chelsea tonight. So that's my prediction.
Cool.
Hopefully. So we'll see what happens. I'll catch you in a second. I'll leave it to you, Matt.
In a bit, man. But yo, Matt, you've been quiet since you've seen the lineup. I don't know if that's quiet out of like shock, fear. But what do you think about it?
I'm trying to look at the Napoli lineup as well. Same as you guys. I do find it's a bit odd. I mean, I'm just very used to kind of having not Reece being in centre back at all, really. So for me, it's just trying to kind of juggle my head around what we're trying to do. I wonder if it's anything to do with like a slight illness or something like that, which has meant that someone's not in a team. It's weird that we've not really seen Reece at all this season ever being centre back. So for this to be the game, I think it'll be interesting to see. I mean, look, like you said, it's added more drama to the game now. So we're going to see. I mean, Lukaku's on the bench, so that was one thing I thought maybe from like a physicality point of view that they felt that Reece could have the better of Lukaku. I don't know, but the fact that he's not playing, it's Højlund. So I hardly think that's going to be a real battle between that. So we'll see. I'm just going to get the lineup though. Let me get that back up.
I'm even trying to look at that myself, the Napoli lineup.
Yeah, I haven't got. It was only Nazar came out with something about Lukaku.
Jesus Christ, this Latin. Oh my God, Napoli flip.
I hope you're touching wood while you say that, because that sounds like you're just about to jinx us, brother. Like, they don't know much.
You know what? I ain't touching wood for shit. I'm gonna have my confidence high. And if we lose, like Mana said, I lose like a man, but hopefully, I win like a man too.
Yeah, so I mean, that's I don't know much about Napoli at all. So if anyone else knows, that's a similar team to what they had previously.
Okay, lineup confirmed for them.
Yeah, I think
It's near enough what Jem had on the screen earlier.
it was.
Yeah.
There's no Di Lorenzo for them by the looks of it, which is a big miss for them if he's not. Actually, sorry, he's wing back. But he's starting wing back, and it's Oliveira that's right centre back. Well, my apologies there. Is there enough what they've been starting of recent? McTominay, Lobotka in midfield, Spinazzola left wing back, Bergara, Elmas behind, Hoyland up front. I mean, I would go over the back three. Obviously, Juan Jesus is a name that people are familiar with. Maybe not the wide centre backs. And then it's Merritt in goal. I'll be interested to see that. Yeah, he's wing back for them, right wing back. It's his best position. We'll see what happens, man. I'm just surprised that we're starting Reece James at centre back. We're leaving no midfield options on the bench, realistically. And there's a bunch of centre backs on the bench. Maybe the illness point is true. Maybe there's an illness that's going around, and that's why Chalobah is not fit enough to start. But it's surprising. It's quite surprising.
I think we'll be good.
Let me just. So this is obviously their formation from prior, so that will hopefully help out in terms of. So Di Lorenzo's right centre back. So yeah, we'll see.
Oh wait, he's not a wing back.
Right centre back, he was playing now.
That's very interesting. So wait, who plays right wing back?
No, that was their previous one. Today he's apparently starting wing back. Obviously, Oliveira is more of a defender. So I thought, and obviously we know Di Lorenzo can bomb up and down as a wing back, or he can play wide centre back. So
yeah, but this makes it tricky because Oliveira he's left footed. Do you think? I would not be surprised if I see Di Lorenzo at RCB, to be honest.
And Oliveira can play left centre back, and then Bergamo, he was left centre back in the image that I saw. He would probably just play on the right, to be honest, because he's right-footed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
There you go, guys. This is what FootMob's saying that how we're going to be setting up. Can you guys see that? I need to probably zoom in a bit.
Yeah, we can see that. Zooming in will be a bit better. Yeah, obviously Spinazzola is also, he can play either side. He's been playing off the left more recently, so I'd imagine he probably stay there, but it could be different. And Conte is not opposed to changing things up as well tactically. So, and obviously he'll still keep his same shape as always, but he might switch positions around. You never know. But yeah, it's just very interesting to see that we've gone with Reece centre back. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah. Well, like you said, I mean, look, if it pays off, we're all going to be praising Liam for his tactics there, but we'll see. I mean, what do you guys think on kind of score lines now, looking at what we've spoken about and now looking at the lineups? It's funny, the more I'm getting close to it, I was more of a high scoring game before. I think, Ad, what you were saying about us playing against back fives, things like that, it's made me think it's going to be a lot closer than what we think. So I think 2-1. I think we will concede, and I think we'll concede early, just because of how we played, especially away now as well, and the fact that Napoli are, it's a must-win for them. Whereas with us, if we draw, there's still ways for us, but they have to win. So it'll be very interesting. I'm going 2-1 Chelsea.
We'll let Benji go next.
You know what? I'm gonna give my reasoning to this. I think they're scoring first because the fact that we went so ball dominant heavy, we don't even have threats in the air. I just realized we are going to be absolute dog shit in the air. I think we're just playing on the counter attack when it comes to set pieces. The fact that we have so much pace. We're just gonna need like 3 players up and just play counter, and then this game could go very left if it goes wrong, and Ad's gonna cook me for this. Jeez, I know he'll be the first one to cook me. I'm just gonna go 3-1 Chelsea.
Interesting. 3-1.
I'm not mad at it. I mean, I can see a world where it's high scoring. I just, you know what, it's because of the stakes, right? They have to win. We really should win. I mean, we have to win if we want to get top 8 realistically, right? So, as much as I, in my mind, have this as a draw, because both teams need to win, I can see it being a draw later on, but then both teams are going to have to go for it because a draw does nobody nothing. Like, let's be real, there's no way we draw and get top 8. These players should know that as well, and the manager too. So, I'm going to pick a team to win. And I'm never going to go on a show and pick Chelsea to lose, man. I can't do that. So I'm going to say Chelsea. I'm going to say 3-2 Chelsea.
Ooh, highest scoring.
Ooh.
What do you guys think in the chat as well? And whilst you get the scores in the chat, I'm going to just run through what Connor said. So Connor actually went on Sky Sports today as well, which is quite cool. But very interesting lineup, which you can either frame as a 4-2-3-1 or a 3-4-3 on paper. Reece James at centre back. Called this on my channel as an option. Utilising James in this way will allow us for a flexible in and out possession schemes. Santos and Caicedo in the pivot. Solid foundations for the side and keeping it familiar. Thinking having Santos in there to track McTominay, he's key. So really, it's really like this from Rossignol. Enzo's free role with Neto as a width holder in the left, and Enzo will get to operate the left hand side and have the freedom to pick it up between the lines. Happy with the midfield three sticking. Esteval to start. Obviously, Esteval keeps his spot, which is deserved. Let's see if Cole comes off the bench to replace him. 60 minutes, and I think this is what Jen was saying earlier, having some sort of maverick on the pitch still, whether it was a Cole or an Esteval. Perhaps we see him together. Joao Pedro obviously keeps the spot. It's a good chance to keep momentum going for him. It's a good few weeks, and let's see if he can keep it up. Yeah, big game. Let's go. Yeah, it's interesting. But Wally, so you're saying 4-1. Okay, I think Napoli will open up because they have to win. Fair enough. Obviously, Patrick, you're thinking the same as well. What does everyone else think in the chat about what score before we go? Be interesting though. Yeah, it's funny because the more we get closer, the more I'm getting nervous now.
Boy. Could you imagine a world where Lukaku comes in and scores?
Yeah, probably because we're charity FC, so.
Yeah, I mean, we did give Gyökeres his first goal in ages, to be fair. But no, I'm pretty confident. I mean, again, like I said, I would have probably predicted a draw, 1-1 or 2-2. I had both teams not needing to win. So I feel like one of them eventually we're gonna have to get the win. And I'm gonna pick us to just about pip it in the end. But again, I like the Esteban starting again. That's what gives me a lot of confidence in our starting the game well. And if we start the game well, usually he can be somebody that can help to break the game open. I think set pieces are also going to be big for us too. So
starting again, so it's clear to me that he's not good enough. So no, I like that from Liam, because I felt with Maresca there was a lot of picking him because of Prem experience and stuff like that, and I felt it was very obvious that we needed to have out of them on the left. Pedro had to go on the left. So Toby, what have you said? So just need a win from Akabet. What was your Akabet again? There was some ridiculous fee.
I mean, everybody's doing the most today because there's like 1 billion games. So you think somebody out there's gonna win crazy money?
Oh, Toby, if you do, just remember, obviously, Kings of the Bridge provided entertainment.
You got to run a super chat for us, bro. Come on, you have to.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, look, I can't see much coming from that Højlund stuff like that. He's been stinky when he was at United. I don't think he's done a tremendous amount.
He's been good at Napoli. He's been good at Napoli, bro.
No, he's been good. I'm not gonna
lie.
Oh,
is he?
He's actually been really good.
Oh,
he's been good. I think he got like 8-12.
Is he? That's just me just talking absolute shit. It's me thinking on you.
No, but thinking about where he came from, at United, like in my opinion, he's been playing much better. But still, like, he's young, he's learning. He never should have cost that much. I think psychologically, he maybe played.
Well, yeah, United
a bit
top as well, didn't he? So he's got 6 goals. So 18 matches. Aka £10 bet. Oh, fair enough, Toby. That's mental.
Jesus Christ. No way that's true. What the fuck? Can you imagine if he gets 17 wins and then once he just fucks you over?
If Toby goes very quiet from the community, we know why.
He's off.
Well, look, good luck to you, my friend. You deserve it. You're
he's not. Yeah. Go for it. Yeah, Højlund's got 9 goals so far this season. It's not amazing, but it's I mean, that's amazing compared to what he's doing at United. He looked absolutely garbage at United, but he's been pretty good at Napoli. So
he can probably get the first goal then. I think it's going to be a really ruckus first half, and I think how we play, I think it's just from experience from playing some of the other teams. Yes, I know Napoli played completely different to Atalanta. It was quicker. Obviously, Napoli are a bit slower. But I just feel that how we play under pressure is a bit of a worry. Potentially that's why maybe Reece is in the team as well, to kind of solidify that back line a bit more and kind of keep it calm. Because let's be honest, whether it's Fofana, Chalobah or Badiashile, they always seem quite shaky when it's this sort of game. So maybe Reece has been put in there as well just to kind of calm things down a bit with a bit more experience at the back. So
yeah, maybe in possession that might be something that's key. Him just calming us down a bit in possession. But I'm interested to see if Rafinha gives away why he's done the change, because obviously we know Rafinha likes to talk.
That's what I'm trying to figure
So
out.
we'll see if he does something if he says anything in the pre-match presser that they kind of pre-match interview when he's at the stadium. We'll see if he says anything, because it's a big call to make that. It's a big call.
Yeah, there's nothing. So Rafinha says that Napoli will press us really high. So apparently that's what he said. Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought there'd be something which has come out, but maybe not yet. Maybe there's more comments. There's more comments coming out now. Like just saying about the fans, what happened to them yesterday. So, which is wild, but expected, unfortunately, which is sad. Yeah.
What happened with the fans? What, like trouble with the locals?
Napoli ultras stabbed 2 Chelsea fans with a screwdriver yesterday.
Holy shit!
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Are they okay?
Well,
Are they in
what?
hospital?
To be honest, I'm not really surprised. Surprised. That city really stinks.
Do we know their condition? Are they in hospital?
They're fine. Yeah, no, it was nothing serious, but still, like, I think they were just normal match-going fans, just going from like one pub and then just like walking and then just trying to go to another. They weren't causing any issues, but yeah, just crazy. But yeah, so obviously Chelsea did a statement about it, but that's why it's always you've got to be careful when you go out to anywhere. Really, you've got to be safe now. But anyway, 100%. On a lighter note, look, hopefully we are going to win today, and we'll go in the top 8, or we'll go into the automatics. I'm still a little bit confused from what Jem said about who we could potentially get. I didn't quite catch that if we're not top 8. I messaged him and I was like, "Oh, can you text it?" And then we just obviously went past.
Honestly, I think there's no point even paying much mind to it, because it can just change so much based on where other teams finish as well. Nothing's really set. Other than the top 2, nothing's really set in stone.
Yeah. Well, look, hopefully, Toby, we're going to go now, but good luck, mate. Hopefully you'll bring that in. And just remember, a big super chat better be coming in if you do win it.
At least 5% you've got to give back to the channel. At least 5%. You know what I mean?
I think Jem would be happy if you did that. That is crazy. 900 grand. Imagine if you just went into your local Betfred and you were like, I want this now.
I can't lie. If your winnings is 900, you probably put like Arsenal to lose, Barca to lose to Copenhagen. You probably put some mad results in there, surely.
Yeah, have you got any kind of crazy results in there to make that become that kind of?
It can't be just the favourites to win, because I mean it's going to be a lot of money, but 900 for a £10 bet.
Go in a second and put a £10 bet on.
Yeah.
Here we go. What are you saying? Yule. I don't know what you mean by that, Toby.
Let's see. Palmer was on the bench, right? Did I see that right?
Oh yeah, cool. Toby's going to show us the results, and then we'll see what he thinks, and then we'll I'll probably just head off.
Yeah, same. I got to get some food in quickly before the game.
Benji's already had his 3-course meal, so a glass of sushi and a glass of wine. Then he looked completely lost when he went outside.
I don't know what he was doing.
The GT said a comment. I was just in hysterics. It was just like, Benji, you look like you're completely lost outside. And just looking, Benji was completely, I don't know what was in that glass of wine to make me walk around like that.
Yeah, mate, I want to check on him later just to make sure you go home safe.
Yeah, I know. But, we'll see. Toby's probably going to send it across in a second. Has there been anything else whilst we're just waiting for that?
I'm checking my GC. Everybody's just saying that hopefully it's not Fofana in the middle, because he's not obviously the best in the middle. That can be the only reason to like want to start James.
Well, Archie said what you've just said, that maybe potentially starting Reece at centre back. This is what he predicts. I would play Reece James at centre back, and then you would have Fofana at right centre back.
Yeah. Yeah, literally this. And yeah, at that point, then obviously I trust that middle three of Santos, Caicedo, James to help us in build up, and we would see less mistakes than we saw against Arsenal, which was the last team that really pressed us super aggressively. Brentford did at times as well, but I think Napoli will probably give us a bit more of a press, which is probably why Rosenior's trying to counteract that. And listen, I like managers who are a bit more of a tacticals and want to outthink the other managers. I like that. So hopefully it works out, because obviously if it doesn't work out, we know the hot seat at Chelsea is very, very hot, and the scrutiny, the pressure from the media and everything is gonna be
we're
pretty big.
one bad result away, and I think as fans we probably are. We have a right to always react badly after one bad result, but we've got to remember we have won 4 and 5. So, but it's interesting that obviously Liam was saying about playing a high line, that they're going to be playing very high. So maybe the fact that if James is more there, then it means that we just have more of a potency to cause traps within this area to try and play on the counter. You tweeted over to me. Cool. Let's have a quick look. Right. Toby, what we got here? This is wild. If this comes in, Toby, fair play to you. Right. Let's have a look at what Toby predicted. So he's gone. So I assume you've done where it says the team. I'm so bad at betting. So you've done Arsenal to win, Tottenham and Frankfurt to draw, Liverpool to win, City to win, Chelsea to win, PSG to win, Ajax and Olympiacos to draw, Atletico Bilbao, Sporting Lisbon to draw.
That would be a good result for us if that happened.
Atletico Madrid to win, Barca to win, Real Madrid to win, Marseille to win, Inter to win, Leverkusen to win, Juve. I've got to say, right,
that's not bad,
a lot of these are like favourable wins.
Yeah.
Well, look, Toby, good luck to you, my friend. That's crazy, Toby. I'm going to put a £10 bet on now.
I might do as well,
I don't condone betting. I don't condone it.
Yeah, bet responsibly, people. But yeah, I've got to even jump off myself. I know you want to close even now, but yeah, hopefully we get the result today, but that's the most important thing.
Yeah, look, and guys, we're going to finish now, but Jem and Con are on Spaces, so if you want to carry on the momentum just before the game starts, if you're trying to fill a void for 45 minutes, Jem's now doing a space with Con, so go and join that, and yeah, we'll just finish off there, but we'll probably do a match reaction tomorrow. Might be a halftime on Discord if you want a bit more of a smaller community. We're on Discord, I might be on there, but if you want to more listen to Jem and Con and stuff, they'll probably do a space at halftime. But if you want to kind of be more talking in a smaller community and you feel a bit more confident doing that way, I'll be on Discord at halftime on the voice channel. So I'll see you guys there. Cool. Right, I'll see you guys later.
Cool.
All right, bye-bye.
Peace.